Piikanikoan istuagok Piikanikoan. Kitkanet samatsnukpoa. Piikanikoan. Living under a Blackfoot Sky, a modern winter count. I've always had a passion for popular musical heritage and how to blend it with my Indigenous music. This exhibit centers around a winter count robe. A winter count was a tanned hide or robe of a buffalo, where symbols were drawn on the surface. The images drawn consisted of significant events that occurred to the group of people in possession or who owned the hide. I chose to showcase significant images of my life, blending a story of who I am in my landscape. I then separated several significant themes that guide me as an Indigenous man into story panels. The various themes I chose to highlight taken from the winter count are heritage, education, career, culture, music, and a final panel on my gratitude, my thanks. The panels are accompanied by a song lyric printed out on an adjoining panel that coincide with the theme as well. On these lyric panels are QR codes that are instantly read by any smartphone to play an accompanying original song that I wrote and performed. My winter count is non-sequential, meaning it's broken up into themes. And then, of course, that's how I was able to then extract them into the panels. But primarily, it starts with images of who I am. So it starts off with a symbol that I relate to who I am. It's a guitar in a traditional native sun. And then it branches out into symbols that relate to my identity. Shortly thereafter, we get into the theme of family or heritage. And all the images that you then see are images of people. And those people represent my family. Represents my wife, my children, and my grandchildren. And then behind those is the traditional symbols of their Blackfoot names. So my youngest grandson, his Blackfoot name is Ini, or in English it's Buffalo. So on the row of animal figures you see a buffalo. And then for one of my granddaughters, her name is Anadaki. And you see the image of a lady, and you can see some sparks or some shininess about her. And her name in Blackfoot is Pretty Woman or Pretty Girl. And then my other granddaughter, her name is Iniskamaki or Buffalo Stone Woman. So on there we have a picture of an Iniskim, which is a buffalo stone. And then we go on to the next theme of, again, being very personal. We talk about my educational journey, and that coincides with the panel on education. And I talk about symbols that signify a diploma, my degree, and then a master's degree. And it relates in that way. And then we go on into career. The symbols begin to talk about the work that I do in community. It's talking about understanding the Blackfoot territory within its place in within my community. So there's a lot of land images in that section. And then it goes off into music. And there's a lot of symbols there of people playing an instrument. Now, in a traditional sense, you won't see a guitar in an old winter count, but I've had the artist that I was working with create those images as if they were a traditional image. So I have a picture of a guitar on a winter count, a drum, a rattle, a harmonica, which are instruments that I still use. So that's images that you'll see there. And then the final bit of images that you'll see are this idea of giving thanks to the community. So the very last image is both the artist who did the painting and my interpretation of gratitude, of thanks. And I believe that one of the most important components, or a very strong value of our Blackfoot heritage, is the idea of thanks, of gratitude, of being thankful for what we have, being respectful of what we have. So the final images represents gratitude. I have to give a huge thank you to William Sanger III, an artist and colleague from the Blood Tribe. We commissioned William to do the actual artwork on the piece, and I'm very thankful to his interpretations and his style. I hope that sharing my story in my traditional way, paired with my traditional and contemporary music, will show how similar we can all be when we take the time to share our stories. Thank you.